So when I get on the subway train, I walk down the steps, you know, going to get on the train, swipe and swipe. And what happens? I see this huge sign that says, millions of people in New York City are fine without God. You can be too. Atheist.org. I was like, wow, that's absurd. It's pretty just flat out, right? And I was like, man, that's nuts. I've never seen that before. Jump on the subway, I'm riding around the city. I keep seeing these signs everywhere. This isn't a joke, this really happened. And millions of other Christians started to see this happen in New York City, and they were like, I'm not down with that. They're like, we gotta do something about this. And so one guy was like, let's go cut off their ears with swords. And we were like, no, Peter. How about we pray? And I was like, oh yeah. So 5 people in Brooklyn got together and said, yeah, how about we just, we start getting together, meeting regularly, and praying for our city. And they were like, okay, you don't want to cut their ears off with swords? And we're like, no, just pray. And they're like, okay, that's what we're going to do. So they got these shirts pressed that said, God belongs in my city. And they decided to go and show up in New York City and just gather together quietly, peacefully, and start praying for the city. Lo and behold, people started breaking out their phones, as you are now, taking pictures of them and hashtagging God belongs to my city. And this stuff started to go viral. It started to spread around the city, and more people started gathering and praying for their city every week as they would meet. Fast forward, this turns into a movement that has started to sweep the world. People are gathering all over the country and all over the world, all over different continents, to pray for their cities. They walk around their city peacefully, praying for their city. And it started, this movement started with 5 kids in Brooklyn with cell phones. So a lot of y'all looking around this room right now like, man, I don't know if God can use me, if he can do anything. Do you have a cell phone? Yes. Do you love Jesus? Maybe. I don't know. You gotta ask yourself. The third part is, do you serve a very humongous God who can do anything with anyone he wishes? Yes. And that should be motivation for y'all to know that this thing that has swept the world and is changing cities through the power of prayer started with people just like y'all in this room.